It's Saturday morning. The sun slants through the dusty garage windows. The smell of fresh sawdust mixes with the faint aroma of cedar. You're halfway through a bookshelf project, measuring a long oak plank. The saw hums, then it binds. A splintered edge. The joint doesn't fit. Lumber wasted. Hours gone. That moment, staring at the misfit boards, wondering if it's you. It's universal. Have you ever blamed yourself, thinking your skills weren't enough, when in reality, the real problem was something you never even considered? Most people in your position assume the problem is their skill, that they're the ones making mistakes. But here's the real villain: incomplete, poorly structured woodworking plans. Plans that promise clarity but leave out measurements, cut lists, or step-by-step guidance. This isn't conjecture. Hundreds of woodworkers report wasted months and lumber due to this issue alone. Call it the assumption problem, the idea that you can fill in gaps with intuition or guesswork. Years of experience, hundreds of tested projects, and thousands of users later, the pattern is clear. The problem is systemic, not personal. Scenario 1, the dining table disaster. You start a dining table. The instructions say, cut to length. You assume the angles. Weeks later, the table is uneven. Boards wobble. Family meals postponed. You think, I must be doing something wrong. Scenario 2, the workshop bench failure. A new bench project. Shelves misfit. Holes don't align. Time wasted adjusting, sanding, and re-drilling. Lumber scraps pile up. You tell yourself, I'm not patient enough. Scenario 3, the outdoor bench frustration. You attempt a garden bench. Tenon joints refuse to fit. Boards twisted. Tools everywhere. You think, maybe I'm not skilled enough for this project. And here's what all three have in common. Each failure traces back to the same root: incomplete plans, missing cut lists, and unclear step-by-step instructions. Not your ability, not your effort. And this is where most people make a mistake that costs months of time. What nobody tells you is that guessing, improvising, or skipping steps multiplies errors exponentially. The part that surprised me most was how minor omissions in the instructions create cascading failures. After enough failed builds, I started asking a different question. What if the plans themselves were designed to prevent these mistakes? That's when I discovered a system that standardizes every project. Cut lists, exact measurements, and sequential instructions that match the tools in a typical garage. Returning to the dining table, I followed the resource step by step. No guesswork. Every board fit. Assembly took half the time. The workshop bench, shelves aligned perfectly. Holes and joints matched without adjustment. Lumber wasted reduced dramatically. The outdoor bench followed the same principle. Tenon joints clicked together. Angles exact. Project completed on schedule. One specific example. A friend with a 7 by 8 foot garage, minimal tools, no prior woodworking experience. Finished a complex bookshelf in 2 weekends using the structured approach. Realistic, achievable, repeatable. This is why it works. The system removes ambiguity. Each instruction anticipates common errors. Each cut list is verified. It's not a collection of random PDFs. It's a logical, testable workflow. Many assume they need advanced tools or a large workshop. Not true. Limited space, minimal tools, inexperienced. Those constraints are accounted for. First story. A colleague with only a circular saw and clamps completed a wall-mounted cabinet. Following these verified plans, she matched every joint without improvisation. Second story. Another woodworker, intimidated by prior failures, finished a garden bench and small coffee table, reporting 0 wasted boards within 3 weeks. The principle is consistent. Clarity, verified measurements, and sequential steps make success predictable. This is why it works. A tested system eliminates common frustrations. Now imagine the next 6 months. Projects start, but gaps in instructions cause repeated errors. Lumber wasted, time wasted, frustration grows. You question your skill, your patience, your potential. Now imagine taking one step, using a system designed to prevent these errors. Projects complete efficiently. Time is regained. Waste minimized. Satisfaction increases. Confidence restored. You've already done the hard part, investing effort, time, and attention. The plans just haven't kept up with you. Your past failures are proof of effort, not incompetence. Each project attempted, each board miscut was a lesson in persistence. The next step is simple. Follow a verified, structured system that aligns with your tools, space, and skill level. Completion becomes achievable. Frustration becomes confidence. If you want to see what I use for every build, I left a link in the description. Like, comment, and subscribe to follow along for more practical, realistic woodworking insights.